Hi everyone. Woo wee. Hold up. Hold up. I'll wait till the ticker hits one. I got some juicy gossip. Hold on. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. But the popos came by my house with Social Security, and I was like, wow. I was like, damn. I was like, what is this? A piece of cheese? Hold on. Gotta inspect now. Okay. So the popos came to the house with Social Security, and they asked me generalized questions, and they even recorded me. I was like, okay, what's going on? I was like, I'm not doing nothing wrong. I just go to school and I barely do what I need to. Like, I do what I need to do, but some days are worse than others or better than others. And that's what I told him. I said some days are better than others or worse than others. You got today. Today is a semi good day. I said I'm not going to say that I'm going to clean up, but I'm going to start the process of cleaning up. And I strategically did it where just stripped the bed. I just stripped the bed because I didn't want to sit up there and have and go back to lay back down, and stuff. So on a dirty bed. So I stripped the bed and it's in the dryer right now. And that's what I did. And the ground is dry, dirty. But it's not dusty dirty where if I put like a napkin on the floor, it's gonna turn black or some crap. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I feel so bad, but they came by, man. I was like, who ratted me out in a bad way? Because I know good and damn well I don't get money, I don't get paid for Jeremiah. They kept asking me about that. Do I get paid for Jeremiah? And I said, no, no. And he was getting funding, and I didn't even know he was getting funding. I didn't even know he was getting funding. That's what they told me. He was getting funding in a separate account. And I'm like, I didn't know that. So I don't know. He hasn't been in my possession since 2011. And that's how I feel. I didn't live a life in a fairy tale. And it's always a magical fairy tale with higher ups. But I can relate I can relate to Putin's story because Putin lived in poverty with his mother, and I lived in poverty with my mother too. I lived in poverty with my mother and everyone else, and then graduated to middle class. But yeah, it's crazy. I don't want to live in poverty no more. So I'm trying to make a plan to slowly take care of my health so my health can incline and make sure that I get a better life, a stable, better life. That's my goal, to make sure I can get a better life, a more stable, better life. But I need Social Security. I'm not trying to steal from nobody. I do suffer from mental health. I may be smart, but isn't autistic people smart? Isn't like people that has slow oxygen going to their brain and they can't really talk. They know colors. They know things like everybody's smart in their own way. I know that it's a possibility that I may lose it. I don't know, maybe because I got other funding coming in, and they want to see my bank account, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I just feel like they're doing their job, but they have to admit, despite the income, am I mentally ill? 3 days or a week of being, more uh, like better, but still worse. I don't. When I was at the other apartment building, I was going to sleep around 7 to 9, 7 or 9, 7 or 9. I was going to sleep around 7 or 9. Now I'm going to sleep and I'm hurting because I'm going to sleep, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. And then I'm trying to get out of speaking. I'm trying to get out of being shy when I speak to people. I'm starting to speak to people more, and I'm just trying to get out of the bad habits that I have. I'm a typical person with mental health issues. Some days are good than others. That's why I keep blinking because that thing is like blowing me. But yeah, some days are good than others, and that's all I can say, man. Some days are good than others. They went a list. They went down a list of things that I was doing. They went from genuinely Michelle to blue cloud cleaning, and I wasn't with Social Security at that time. I wasn't even making an income. Now, Lomax was making an income, not me. He was making an income. I mean, I'm not trying to say Lomax is a bad person. All I'm saying is he was making a Social Security income and we were married. I wasn't on Social Security. I was trying to get out of the realm of Social Security by having my own businesses. So they know about them now. They know that I may be suffering from mental health. Some days are better than others, but I'm very on point. I don't want to live in this room no more. So that's how I feel. I gotta take this off. That's how I feel. I mean, you know, there are criminals on Social Security that runs from the police. There are so many things going on where they taking advantage of the system. But I did not take advantage of the system. God's fate came into play, and that's why, I'm off of Social Security. During my time, during my time that I sat up there and had a business, I was not on Social Security. And that's what my grand plan is, to get my health together and make sure that I gradually get off of Social Security if they allow it. If they allow it. I don't want to be on here forever, but I don't also want to work 35 hours broke down. I want to get at the core of the issue, and I want to make sure I have my health together. That is a very sacred thing. You can't do nothing if your health isn't together. So yeah, I tried. Uh, the definition of I tried is Kimberly Cloud. So let's finish with the editing of a video. Oh, that. Where is it at? Okay.
Make as much use of technology as I can, write as much as I can, and hopefully continue to help grow a kingdom around the world for hurting people and for healthy communities.
Have you ever thought about creating I tell everybody this because we're moving into the app age. App was in its younger stages, but now everybody has an app for everything. Have you ever thought about utilizing an app for your expertise to help grow your brand?
We have never considered it. We're just still trying to. I have a wonderful social media person now who's helping build our presence there. And I suppose if we can build that up pretty well, then maybe we could think about an app. But right now, I don't know what I would do with an app.
Well, I wanna ask you one more question, and it's about the entrepreneurs out there. I wanted to ask you, what kind of advice would you have to give to the young entrepreneur out there that took addiction counseling classes and did all this and want to be in your footsteps with the power that you hold in your hands right now?
I think there are two things. One is God created you with a purpose and with gifts and abilities. And you are born at just the right time because things are getting bad. But He put you here because He knew things were getting bad, because you can make a difference. You can change the little bit of the world that you touch. And it's an adventure. It's thrilling to get to be part of what God is doing on earth right now. You are part of that.
Okay, we're going. Okay, because we got to keep it 15 minutes.
The second thing is faithfulness. God never asked us to be great. He just said, be faithful. And I think as people are faithful with the little bit He's given them right now, that becomes bigger over time. But it's almost like there is so much perseverance needed to be faithful that if you grow without it, you don't really have a foundation to keep standing on. So I'm like, hang in there. You have a purpose. Keep doing what you are doing and being faithful with it. And there are so many ways to use training with addiction, especially addiction ministry right now. You can coach, you can teach, you can do counseling. There are so many. You can work in treatment. There are so many different ways you can apply what you're doing and grow the kind of experience and footing and background you need to develop something incredible.
Tell me about your time in Washington, D.C., where you helped develop a program serving homeless men and women.
There is a fantastic ministry there. Well, there's a whole network of ministries there coming out of Church of the Savior. The ministry I worked for was called Samaritan Inns, and they developed transitional housing for homeless people. They hired me to be their first addictions counselor. And these people are both bold and brave and creative because we looked at their statistics. They had beautiful facilities for formerly homeless people to get plugged into medical care, job training, you name it. You name the resource, and they could get connected to it through that network. The problem was people were not staying very long. So I went through their data to see what was happening. And what we discovered is they were working primarily with addicted people or with people with mental illness. And so I suggested that they think about, do you want to focus your program to develop for addictions or more for mental illness? They said addictions. So they have developed, I was only there for a short time. And in the meantime, they have developed a 28-day residential program for men and women. They have developed more transitional housing for people coming out of that program. And they bought an old rundown apartment building. When I worked there, they took possession of it. We went to clean it up. There were needles everywhere. It was basically a shooting gallery. Well, what they did is they turned that into somewhere around 100-bed facility where for people that have gone through their program can live in sober housing in community. The last time I checked, they were running an 80% sober rate after 2 years, which is remarkable. Those people really knew what they were doing.
Well said, well said. And basically, I wanted to know more about the nonprofit organization Equipping Hearts, because you are the president of that, you and
Yes.
your wife.
You can find out more about Equipping Hearts at our website, equippinghearts.com. And we're on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram. Really, the website has a good list, has my blogs, but it also has a good list of resources, a lot of podcasts and interviews like that you can hear more about what we do. It also has information about our books.
Cool. Tell me a little bit about one of your books.
The first book that I wrote is called Becoming the Face of Grace, Navigating Lasting Relationships with God and Others. And it makes a case that God's grace is, and His grace and the grace we share with each other are the foundation for the deepest, long-lasting, and enduring relationships we have with each other. One of the things I talk about is who we love the most tends to determine how we behave at any given moment. That's why Jesus said, if you're loving me, you'll be keeping my commandments. It's about how are we connected with Him. And I think grace makes healthy relationships sticky or really last. And the book contrasts that with what happens when grace is missing or absent, and that's fear. Fear is our spiritual and neurological default system when grace is missing or absent. And that leads to addictions and a lot of other things. One of the things I like about the book is there are stories about people that were a face of grace to me throughout my lifetime. And there's sections for individuals or groups to go through, read scripture, do some affirmations, answer some questions, and discover their own faces of grace. There's also a section in each chapter called The Intersection of Grace, Scripture, and Neuroscience, where I talk about how the topic of that chapter, how that works out neurologically. It's really
because you like neuroscience, right? Yeah. Tell me a little bit what your influence is and why.
As far as neuroscience, I work with a wonderful guy that's closer to me than a brother. His name is Dr. Jim Wilder. He is one of the founders of Shepherd's House, which is now called Life Model Works. Jim is a psychologist who has studied neuroscience extensively. Together, we developed some resources for working with addictions and developing healthy communities. When I heard Jim talk for the first time, I was blown away because I felt like the neuroscience piece was what a lot of addiction work had been missing. So Jim gave me quite a reading list. I mean, it was like one of these stacks of stuff, but a lot of what I do is informed by the work of Dr. Alan Shore, Siegel, Alan Siegel, because they really do a great job looking at how the brain develops, what it needs to be healthy. And grace is one of those things that it needs, by the way. They don't call it that, but that's in effect what it is. And it also helps.
Find your terms of grace.
Okay. Grace means you're my favorite, you're special. Most people think about grace as unmerited favor. Like you say, what is grace? It's unmerited favor. If you ask what's unmerited favor, they say, well, it's grace. A guy named John Barclay wrote a book called Paul and the Gift, and he traced the development of the word grace. Like, where does this come from? What did it mean in Greece? Because it's a Greek term. And what he found out was fascinating because let's suppose you wanted to start a relationship with me, and you being more well-to-do than me, you would say, for some reason, I want a relationship with this guy, Ed. You would call your servant over and you would say, bring this gift to Ed. That gift was called the grace. So your servant would knock on my door, and when I'd answer it, he would say, this is a grace from Kimberly. I understood right then that what you were asking, that you were seeing me as somehow special or favorite, and what you were asking me for was a long-term ongoing relationship that was mutual. When I accept the gift, I'm not just getting the gift, I'm signing up for a relationship with you. So when I say grace, I mean that you are so special and favorite to someone that they would give you an extraordinary gift. In God's case, that was Jesus.
Yeah.
So we are his favorite, each of us. So when I say grace, I mean something that's very, very relational, that infants need for a developing mind that's healthy, to where they can form secure and healthy attachments with their caretakers, whether it's mom, dad, or someone else that's bonding with them. It's and the cool thing is, grace and joy are two forms of the same Greek word. So where you get grace, you get high energy, joy. Like, yeah, they're glad to be with me. And that is actually training the brain to do relationships and form specific styles of attaching to people that endure throughout our lifetime. So grace is foundational for everything.
One last question, then I'm gonna ask you where we can find you at. The question goes like this: do you believe in numerology, where numbers have value in the Christian context of the book of the Bible?
I don't know enough about numerology to give you an intelligent answer.
Understood. So I respect that. And how can the people find you? Do you have a name? Understood. No way. No effing way. Damn it.
So I went through their data to see what was happening. And what we discovered is they were working primarily with addicted people or with people with mental illness. To medical care, job training, you name it, you name the resource, and they could get connected to it through that network. Indoor.
Damn it. 2021.
2 years, which is wrong. About, do you want to focus your program to develop for addictions or more for mental illness? They said addictions. So they have developed, I was only there for a short time, and in the meantime, they have developed a 28-day residential program.
Okay, bam.
I don't know enough terminology to give you an intelligent answer.
So I respect that. And how
Yeah, I don't know an answer.
understood. So I respect that. And then how
The state. People,
how can people find? Damn it! What is going on?
for addictions or more for mental illness. They said addictions. So they have developed, I was only there for a short time, and in the meantime, they have developed a 28-day residential program.
How can the people find you then?
Equippinghearts.com, on Facebook, Instagram, and the books are all on Amazon. So they're not hard to find, but you get more information about the books on equippinghearts.com.
Thank you so much. Stay on the line. Thank you so much, y'all, for joining my show today. Y'all have a
medical care, job training, you name it, you name the resource, and they could get connected to it through that network. The problem was people were not staying very long. So I went through their data to see what was happening.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I have a very, very special guest here today. Can you go ahead and announce to the world who you are and where you're calling from?
I am Ed Corey, and I'm calling from Conover, North Carolina.
How far is that from Charlotte? Okay, hold up. Damn it. I need at least 3 more minutes of film.
For treatment or a stay at hospital. Only did somewhere around hearts. I already had a started and she has to know if I what is it? Put in hearts because you are the president. And she has to know if I want to know all the years.
Damn it.
You know that developed a 28-day residential program.
Understood. The reason why I'm asking this is because you can't agree that there's good and evil out here, like we were just talking about. You can't agree that
So they have developed, I was only there for a short time, and in the meantime, they have developed a 28-day residential program.
Understood. The reason why I'm asking this is because you can't agree that there's good and evil out here, like we were just talking about. You can't make me understood. The reason why I'm asking this is because
program.
Understood. You can't agree that there's good and evil out here, like we were just talking about. You can't agree that there's good and evil out here, like we were just talking about. Evil out here, like we were just talking about.
Day residential program.
Understood. You can't agree that there's good and evil out here. You can't agree that in these times with so many people destroying the world, it's time for change for us to come together. And I just want you to know that between good and evil, there's always the power of choice, right?
Yep.
So my question to you is, where do you see yourself going with your project in the next years to come?
I think we're going to continue doing what we're doing. When we're safely able to travel again, and hopefully that will start this fall, we're going to start doing more training. In the meantime, I'm going to keep writing because books can go places I can't. And we're also trying to develop more online classes, online training,
He started
so
going
that like I'm
spandex.
scheduled
He killing
in
the
September to
sister.
teach a class for a group in Switzerland with youth with emissions, addictive behavior counseling school.
That is so wonderful.
Thank God that in the age of the internet, I can do that. It's always better to be in person with people. It just adds a lot. But I'm going to do make as much use of technology as I can, write as much as I can, and hopefully continue to help grow kingdom around the world for hurting people and for healthy communities.
Have you ever thought about creating like I tell everybody this because we're moving into the app age, app was in its younger stages, but now everybody has an app for everything. Have you ever thought about utilizing an app for your expertise to help grow your brand?
We have never considered it. We're just still trying to. I have a wonderful social media person now who's helping build our presence there. And I suppose if we can build that up pretty well, then maybe we could think about an app. But right now,
how can the people find you then?
We have never considered it. We're just still trying to.
How can the people find you then?
We're just still trying to.
How can the people find you?
Still trying to.
How can the people find you? How can the people find you?
We're just still trying to.
How can the people find you?
Still trying to.
How can the people find you then?
We're just still. We have never considered it. We're just still.
How can the people find you then? And
we have never considered it.
How can the people find you then?
Equippinghearts.com with emissions, addictive behavior counseling school.
Have you ever thought about creating like I tell everybody this because we're moving into the app age. App was in its younger stages, but now
28-day residential program.
Understood. You I need the other one. 1527 is good enough for me. Where's the on air thing? It dissipated. Oh man, I'm going through overdrive. It should be right here. Okay. I go to the bar, shop, talk to some people, for joining my show today. Wonderful day, and I'll be back at 11:15. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly. It does my heart good when I see people get nervous because of me. I'm like, I don't get no income from this. I do it because, I love to interview people, and I don't go out like that. So, yeah. It's amazing, man. Bob, I have a very special guest here today. Can you go ahead and tell the world who you are and where you're calling from?
Hi, my name is Will Wise Otero. I am originally from Brooklyn, New York, but now I live in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania.
I've been to the Poconos, y'all. Running from evil. I've been to the Poconos where I took my doggy, and we stayed there for the night. And it was amazing. It was 3 hotels next door to each other. And it was snow on the ground, but not that heavy. You know, it's funny because that's a hub area, right? It has Allentown, I think, or somewhere near there.
Yeah, we have Allentown about 40 minutes from us. We have Scranton, probably another 35, 40 minutes from us. We have Wilkes-Barre. And we have New York City that isn't that far from us. We have a lot of people that commute from the mountains up here and go work in the city, actually. So it's a nice community. It's nice and quiet. It's peaceful. Definitely different from New York City. So.
The funny thing is, I used to stay in Mountaintop. I know if you know where Wilkes-Barre is, you know where Mountaintop is.
Yes, I do know. Yes.
And it was amazing. So let's get started. About your past, leading up into your present, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. Well, I was widowed at 31, and me and my wife had been with my wife for 10 years. I met her when I was 21, and we got married when I was 23, and tragically in 2008 she passed away in a car accident, and it kind of set me down a very dark path. I was self-medicating, drinking, and it was just my way of dealing with the grief and dealing with the issues. But it was just right after that, it was one loss after another. I lost my father, two brothers, and it was just I felt lost. I felt like, why was I being attacked? Why is this happening to me? I felt like I was a good person, and I was angry at the world, angry with God.
You're angry with God. Yeah, I was going to ask you that question.
Yeah, and
anybody would be.
And so one day, after just waking up and hearing a voice saying that you need to change, it felt that I needed help. I reached out to friends, got the help that I needed. I fell in love with a beautiful spirit, beautiful lady, and she helped me get back into doing things. And it was just taking it one day at a time. It came to the point where I realized, like, I was upset over things I had no control over. And I guess when I started realizing, listen, these are things there's nothing I could do to turn back the clock or whatever. And so I had to accept it and move on and know that God wouldn't put this on my shoulders if I couldn't handle it. And so by me seeking the help, and that's one thing that I talk about on my podcast, is because in the Black and brown community, it's frowned upon men to go out and seek help.
That's true.
We have to provide that. We're men, we're strong, we're providers, we can't show weakness, and that's something we need to break. And it's something that we need to realize, like, we're fragile just as anyone else, and it's okay to go seek help. It's okay to go out there and speak to people if you need the help. There's no shame in it. And even from when growing up, it's something that's instilled in us. How boys don't cry. Boys are supposed to be tough, not supposed to take anything. So that's one thing I love to talk about. That's why I do my podcast, is to let people know that, hey, it's okay to seek that help if you need it.
And it's funny that you say that. It's okay to seek the help if you need it. As a African American guy, we must use the tools that's out there for us. Not us as in me being a guy, but us being African American, period. Because there's so many things that, situations with African Americans. So I get what you're saying. So don't you do a podcast though?
Yes, I do. My podcast is called Stuck in My Mind. And like I said, it's me starting my podcast was me being furloughed from my job. And so I'm what they call I learned this phrase today, a pandemic podcast. But to me, once I got behind the mic, I found my voice, I found my purpose, because I started just at first I recorded 5 minutes and then 7 minutes, and the more I got more comfortable with it, I discovered this is something I enjoy doing. And so the more I got into it, the more I invested in myself. I invested in courses to help me edit my videos, edit my audios. I invested in better equipment. But that was because I felt that people were putting time into hearing my podcast, so I wanted to give them better quality of sound, better quality of anything. So they were giving me something very precious, which is time. And so I wanted to give them something of good quality and good content.
And, since it happened during the pandemic where you found this podcast, tell me, why, how many people have you gotten on your podcast so far? And how far has it come?
Yeah, I kind of went nuts on it. I recorded a lot of episodes. In the 2 years that I've been doing my podcast, today I released episode 148 in my audio, and I just scheduled my next 4 episodes to air on YouTube as far as my video concept, which would be like my 64th video. So I started.
That's good as crap, man. That is good as crap.
In September of last year, I added video to my podcast because I had a branding strategist, and him and his wife are a company, and they kept asking me, "Do you have video?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't switched over yet." Like, so they went, "So do you have video?" I'm like, "No, not yet. I'm still working on it." And they asked me the third time, and they go, "Do you have video?" I go, "Yes, I do." And I press record, and they go, "See, that's what we was trying to show you, that you're a coach. You're someone who's willing to realize that, listen, video is a big part of it. You should consider doing video." And since that episode, I've been doing video.
Do you have testimonials and everything for your podcast?
As far as guests?
Imagine 148 testimonials, dude.
So, no, I've had people send me messages where me and a friend of mine from high school, he's a very successful real estate agent in New York City. And we just spoke on manifestation, goal setting, building what we wanted to build up, and talk about what we do to obtain these things. And we had a friend of ours listen to the episode and sent me a message, and she was like, listening to 2 people I grew up with and went to school with talk about growth, self-development, manifestation, taking that leap, and starting your own business and just working and branding and all that. She was already on the fence about wanting to start her own business, but listening to 2 friends of hers, and she's like, if they can do it, and I know who they are, I grew up with them, I can do the same thing. So to have her send me a message and tell me that that's why I do it, is to be able to have people send me a message and say, listen, thank you for this episode, I needed to hear it.
So you do have testimonials. They're
Yes,
just
I do.
in email form, and you didn't even need to ask for them. I like that.
It's great to have people who reach out and send me messages and tell me like, hey, thank you, or even when they leave comments. I have a couple of comments on the Facebook, on the YouTube page, and just to be able to go back and read the comments and realize like, hey, I'm doing something good. Like, I've gone over 3,000 subscribers on YouTube, and it's growing slowly, but the more consistent I am, I feel the more people are going to get into what I'm doing and just having a great time.
I tell you, what was your wake up call when you were mad at God and you were like, you know what, God, why me? Why is it that so many of my loved ones are dying in my life and I didn't even ask for this to happen? Why some people that don't deserve to have their family have their family? I know you probably asked that question. So what
like as far as with the thinking that why me and not someone who am I to feel like they're not someone that's wishes upon someone else. So like I tell people, whatever I went through in my life, do I regret it? No. And they ask me why. I was like, because it made me the man that I am today. It helped build me to who I am today. And like I said, if God didn't think I could handle it, He put it on my shoulders. And so, yes, I had my rough patches. I struggled with it, but I'm a better man for it today. So I'm the realization when I heard when it was someone when he just hit me that I said I can't live like this anymore. It was time for me to change my ways and again seek the help that I needed. And it's no shame in that. And so I tell anybody who's out there struggling, listen, you're gonna get through it. You're gonna get through this. Life is hard. It has its ups and downs. But again, go out there and seek the help. There's no shame in that. That's what we need to change. We need to change that stigmatism. That.
Have you ever thought about doing like a campaign or some type of movement with the NAACP or anywhere to sit up there and make a movement for this? Because people are aware that African American men go through things like this, but y'all have more anxiety and frustration than a typical man because y'all have to worry about being pulled over while black. Y'all have to worry about, racial inequality, getting shot because you're walking down the street and you fit the description of another person, homeboy. So a movement like this would be very powerful, especially you being from New York and living where you live in Pennsylvania. What do you think about that?
I think it starts within the community itself. It has to start. It has to start within the community itself, where these people need to realize that guns aren't manufactured in the streets of Chicago or in the streets of New York. So where are these weapons coming from? How is it getting into the hands of these teens and these kids that are joining a gang? And I'm glad I'm blessed that I've never been someone who wanted to be a part of a gang or anything. And growing up in New York, it really wasn't an issue till later on now. But it's crazy to see how so many young people are losing their lives. Like these young rappers who are getting murdered and who are going back to the community, who try to give back to the community and are taken from the community early because someone didn't like them, or there's some beef they had years ago, whatever it is. It's a different time now, and not having a lot of my generation of men locked up is a big issue. It's one of the big reasons why this younger generation is kind of lost, because they didn't have that male role model in their life, because most of the men were in jail. A lot of people I grew up with have been in jail and done time, and so there are guys out there who, yes, they've done positive route and they're very successful and all that. But if you look at our prison systems, a lot of the majority in there are black and brown men.
I like that. Silence. Let's listen to the rest of it.
It's just a new way for them to control people and have us basically as slaves. Those prisoners are cheap labor.
But yet, it's funny because me and you and your wife and whoever else is working, we pay the taxes to them. Now, the real people that deserve to be in there, it's a shame that we have to pay the taxes to them. But they don't get the core and the underlying cause of why these people steal, why these people kill. They feel, because it is a choice. Jesus gave us a choice, but they feel like they don't have a choice. And because of, like you said, how they were raised. You know, they were raised without a father, so it made them angry, and they stuck with that anger forever. And they took it out on the next person, whether white or black. And they didn't care about the world no more. They gave up on life and they gave up on the world. So, you know, my next question is for the young entrepreneur out there watching that want to be in your footsteps, you know, having a radio podcast, what would you give them for a form of advice?
Just be prepared to work. It's not, people would think, oh, once you become an entrepreneur, you're going to become wealthy. It doesn't work that way. You actually work more hours being an entrepreneur than you do working a 9 to 5. And you actually get paid less. Sometimes you don't get paid at all. Sometimes this is you trying to build your brand and your business in whatever field that you decide to go on. It's not going to be instant money. It's not. That's not how it works. You have to invest time and energy and build your business. No business is successful. Yes, don't get me wrong. There's been business that have taken off instantly, but for the most part, you don't see the success of. All you see is the success of people. You don't see the hard work they put into it. So if you really want to get into business and become, because not everyone's built to be an entrepreneur. Some people are meant to work a 9 to 5. That's what they're comfortable. They don't want to they don't want to step out of their comfort zone. They don't want to take that risk of being great. So me, I still work my 9 to 5, yes, but I have time to work my business as well and grow my brand and grow what I'm doing. So it's hard work, putting in the time.
We haven't even scratched the surface about what you do, what your 9 to 5 is. Every time I used to go to this place, I used to be so happy. So tell us, what is your 9 to 5?
I get paid to play games. I am a table games dealer at a casino.
Oh, wow. What casino is this?
No, I'm not going to share.
Understood. For purposes, yes. So tell me, what made you get into this?
Actually, I started as a security officer because I have a background in security work in New York City. And I had applied for a different position, and they saw that I had security experience. And so I started as security. And after 1 year, I had become friends with some of the pit bosses and all that, because you take money from the cage to the pits and bring them to the table. So I became friendly with a lot of pit bosses, and a lot of them are like, yo, this is where the money at. You need to come on this side of the table. And like, we see you have a personality. We see that you're a good guy. You definitely need to come to this table. So when they offered a blackjack class, I took it, became certified in blackjack, and I started dealing blackjack. And offered other games, I took those games as well. So now I'm certified in all games in my casino except for poker and pie-guy tiles. But I did craps, roulette, and a bunch of carny games.
Three-card poker.
Yes, it's carny games. So yes, I deal that game also.
I won like $600, no lie, and I didn't know what I was doing. That was my first rush at it. But so how can the people reach you? Thank you for telling that to us. How can the people reach you?
You can definitely find
That was my first rush at it. But so how can the people reach you? Thank you for telling that to us. How can you talk to us?
Black and brown men.
How can the people reach you?
You can definitely find me on all major platforms. You can find my podcast on Apple, Google, Spotify, Podbeans, any platform that you listen to. I am on there. It's called Stuck in My Mind Podcast. You can check out my website. It's www.realwiseproductions.com. There you can find all the content to the YouTube channel, everything.
Well, I want to thank you so much for joining my show. Stay on the line. Thank you, everyone who was watching. You all take care and have a wonderful day. Thank you. On the line. Thank you, everyone who was watching. You all take care and have a wonderful day. Thank you. Hold up. Why is it turned down low? Thank you, everyone who was watching. You all take care and have a wonderful day. Thank you. God, killing me, man. Okay. Okay. Now I need a. What to do? What to do? What to do? There's something else I'm supposed to be doing. Get on here, Canva. I got a lot of things on my mind. Where is it at? Here we go. Let me let y'all see. Damn it. How you spell his name? Fiddlesticks. Ah. Okay. Go back. Ah. I didn't want to yawn in my mouth. Oh, go here. Damn it. I did not mean to do that. That's crazy. Hi everyone, welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I have a very special guest. Daggone it. Hi everyone, welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I gotta do it like this. Detach audio. Wait, let's just detach audio. Yes. I'll be back at 11:15. Thank you. Hi everyone, welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I have a very special guest here today, Keith. Thank you. Hi everyone, welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I have a very special guest here today. Can you go ahead and tell the world who you are and where you're calling from? Hi everyone, welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I have a very special guest here today. Can you go ahead and tell the world who you are and where you're staying on the line? Thank you everyone who was watching. You all take care and have a wonderful day. Thank you. Hi everyone, welcome to the Kimberly Cloud. Okay. Oh, that feels good. Okay, that's uploading. Please let it go through. Let's see. We'll close that out. Close that out. Facebook. Now what? Go here. Thanks. It for free and will wise, etc. Okay, that's fine. I need to call her. Do she got a cell? Okay, I'm gonna give her a call when I get off of here. Oh, what? Like it's really going to start that? I'll be waiting forever. What else? 1 hour, 13 minutes. Manhattan Neighborhood Network. Let me write down what I'm gonna do. Okay. Twitter put movies on here. So why not hop on this bandwagon? Okay. Let me get off of here because I can't post it until it's uploaded. Okay. I will see y'all in a bit, man. I will see y'all in a bit. Sorry, I look so daggone tired. Like I'm in pain, so I'm like scratching my forehead, like, and I'm just like, let me just forget about the pain. There's no medicine in hell that would be able to take care of the pain. Okay, so y'all take care. I'll be back on here later, and I will see you guys in a bit. Bye.